Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am Claudia. I'm pretty sure most of you in the group know me already. I've been in the Wishart Lab for a few years now, and today I would like to talk to you about tea. I really hope you like the seminar. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. So we usually start our seminar talking a little bit about ourselves. Today, I wanted to do something different. I would like to share some fun, maybe not so fun, facts with you about Mexico with you. So let's start. Number one, the official name of the country is not Mexico. The official name is United Mexican States, and pretty much like the United States of America. There are 31 independent states and 1 federal district. However, Mexico comes from a Nahuatl word, Mexico, that means the belly button of the moon. Fact number 2, we have the largest pyramid in the world. The Great Pyramid of Cholula, located in the city of Cholula in the state of Puebla, is the largest city there are in the world. The name is in Nahuatl, again, is Tlachihualtepet, and it means made by hand mountain. Number 3, we have the oldest university in North America. Yes, the National Autonomous University of Mexico was founded in 1551 by the King Charles V of Spain and is the oldest in North America. And yes, Mexico is part of North America. Number 4, around 66 million years ago, a huge asteroid of about 10 or 15 kilometers in diameter impacted the Yucatan Peninsula, causing a massive extinction of around 3/4 parts of the life on Earth, included the non-avian dinosaurs. The asteroid left a crater of about 180 kilometers in diameter, and it's known as the Chicxulub impactor. The name comes from the site where the impact happened, and you can see around the crater the formation of these beautiful blue holes or cenotes that are kind of like underground pools that are open at the top. Most of them are open at the top. And then finally, fact number 5, in Mexico, we do not celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Actually, our official Independence Day happens on September 16, and that day we commemorate the beginning of Mexico's independence from Spain. That war lasted for 11 years, from 1810 to 1821. And on Cinco de Mayo, we commemorate Mexico's victory over the French Empire, who decided to invade Mexico. That happened many years later in 1862 and happened again in the state of Puebla. However, Cinco de Mayo is a well-known celebration because of the United States. It is like the greatest or the biggest celebration in the US, like Mexican celebration in the US. And that is, turns out, because the leader of the army that was fighting against the French was born in Texas. So, just for you to know. And now, before we start, a brief disclaimer. What I'm going to show you here in this seminar is just for general informational purposes. While I've tried my best to keep the information as accurate as possible, the content is not a professional advice, or it's not medical, it's not to be used for medical recommendations. Please consult with a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet or your lifestyle. That being said, let's talk about tea. Well, tea is an aromatic beverage that is prepared by pouring hot or boiling water over cured or fresh leaves of Camellia sinensis. Tea is actually very popular. It is the second most common non-alcoholic drink after water, and it's consumed more than coffee, soft drinks, or even juices. According to a survey conducted in 2022, last year, Turkey is the main consumer of tea, where 9 out of 10 people reported to consume it. In second place come Kenya and Pakistan, with 83% of the population consuming tea. And then in third place, we have India, with 79% of the population reporting to consume that product. According to the FAO, around 7 million metric tons of tea were produced in 2020, being China, India, and Kenya the main tea producers. Now, tea comes from the plant Camellia sinensis. Camellia sinensis is a shrub that belongs to the family Theaceae. There are 4 varieties in the species. However, only Camellia sinensis variety sinensis and Camellia sinensis variety assamica are used to make tea. As you can see in the first figure, this is a drawing of a tea plant, as can be found in Herman Kohler's Atlas of Medicinal Plants that was published in 1897. It is believed that the tea plants are native to East Asia, probably from southern China or between the Indo-Burma region, but the exact origin is still unknown. According to a Chinese legend, though, tea was born more than 2,000 years before our era, when the Emperor Shennong, who presumably liked to drink boiling water, was drinking his boiling water next to a tea tree when some leaves of the tree of the tea plant drifted into his cup, and then that's how the tea was born. Well, besides the delicious flavor and the aromas of the tea, tea has been linked to a wide range of potential health benefits. However, individual responses can vary, and the specific benefits depend on the type of tea that you're drinking and how you're consuming it. Some of the potential benefits of tea include the high concentration of antioxidants, the anti-inflammatory capacity, and the cardiovascular protective effect. Most of these benefits are associated with, most of the benefits associated with tea has to do with its chemical composition. In this graph, what I'm showing is the composition in percentage of green tea, and the data refers to dry weight of the leaves. So as we can see, phenolic compounds and fiber are the main components of tea. More than 50% of the composition is that. And 60 to 80% of the phenolic compounds are catechins. The major catechins found in tea are catechin, epicatechin, epigallocatechin, epicatechin gallate, and epigallocatechin gallate. We can also find, besides fiber, there are other carbohydrates, proteins, mostly enzymes. We have lipids, pigments, minerals, and amino acids. The major amino acids present in tea are glutamine, glutamate, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, and theanine. Actually, theanine accounts for around 70% of the free amino acids that you can find in tea. But again, I was talking about green tea, and the chemical composition varies depending on the type of tea you're talking about. Generally speaking, there are 6 different types of teas. We have white tea, yellow tea, green, oolong, black, and dark. You can find here below each cup, it's the concentration of caffeine that is found in, depending on each tea. Just for your reference, in a cup of coffee, you can find between 80 to 120 milligrams of caffeine. I have also added here, just if you're interested in that, and I added the ideal temperature that you have to use when you're for the water that you have to use when you're making the tea, and the ideal time that you have to steep the leaves in the water. Of course, there are no set rules, and you can drink it as you like. Now, how to get each tea or how to make each tea will vary based on 2 things. One is the starting material, and 2, and how it is processed. So let's talk a bit about this. So there are different stages and processes in the manufacturing step, in the manufacturing of tea, and you can see it here. Well, we start with fresh tea leaves. It can be shoots or buds or mature leaves, but fresh tea leaves. And depending on what you do afterwards is the type of tea that you will get. As you can see here, white tea is the least processed one, whilst yellow tea and dark tea are the most processed ones. And there is a variation between what you have to do with to get each one of them. You might have to dry them, rolling them, even fermenting them. And based on what you do is the result that you will get. Now, besides the manufacturing steps, there are other factors that can affect the tea composition. To mention the most important ones, well, here you are. Okay, we have the shade. You can grow the tea plants under different percentages of shade, and that will vary the chemical composition of the plants, mostly related to caffeine and chlorophyll. The plucking season, you can collect the leaves at different times in the year, usually between April and fall. The earlier you collect in the season, the more amino acids you will have in your leaves. That applies as well for the temperature. Temperature affects the amino acid composition a lot. And when we talk about altitude and soil composition, well, that will affect mostly the volatile compounds found in tea. Now, given the many aspects that are involved in tea production, well, there's a need for strategies that can give the consumers a satisfying and a safe product. Metabolomics, turns out, can provide detailed insights about the chemical composition, the authenticity, and overall quality of the tea products. Analytical techniques coupled with robust multivariate analysis have proven useful in understanding about tea's chemical composition. Just as the refresher, metabolomics is the study of the small molecules that are present in a biological sample at certain moments. It's like taking a snapshot of, sorry, oh, can't go back. No, I am so sorry about this. Yeah, it's like taking a snapshot of the chemicals that are in tea present in the tea leaves at certain moments. So how metabolomics can help? Well, it can help in many areas of the industry. It can be in agriculture, maybe by improving the agronomic traits, refining agricultural conditions like shade, the plucking season, fertilization, the altitude. It can be related to the plant biology by characterizing a wide range of biological functions that are essential for either growth, development, survival, and many others. It can be applied directly to the quality of to the evaluation of the quality of the product by detecting maybe adulterations that reduce the quality of the tea, like added flavors, dyes, fillings, and many other adulterants. Or it can be used to identify biomarkers that can help in the classification between different tea types or the determination of the impact of certain processes in the final product, like in fermentation. So just to mention a couple of them, a few of them, here there are some of the studies that have involved metabolomics in the tea industry. As we can see in the column number 1, there are many analytical platforms that have been used for that purpose. We have either LCMS, GCMS, NMR, Headspace, SPME coupled with GCMS, and with various outcomes, or trying to measure a wide range of attributes. Let's say, to mention some, defense response. In the first study, they were trying to assess the changes in the metabolome after exposure to salicylic acid and hasmonate and mechanical damage to see how the volatiles were changing in the plant. And then in another study, they used NMR to do a classification of Korean teas in 4 different grades according to the plucking season. So let's say how the metabolome change if you are collecting in April, May, late May, and early June. And based on the metabolomic profile, you can mark some teas like a higher grade or lower grade. Or as well, we can use metabolomic to evaluate the impact of the microbial fermentation. They used, in the study, they did a chemical profiling before and after the fermentation with a fungal species. And then in the last example, that I'm showing you, they use metabolomics for the authentication of 5 oolong tea varieties, very expensive tea varieties, to detect the adulteration with lower quality leaves. So here what you can see is just an example of one of the studies. Here is the PCA score plots that came from an LCMS and GCMS data sets of both green tea and tencha. Tencha is the starting material of to make matcha, that were harvested in April and July. So 2 different plucking times. So here in the score plots, you can see that the metabolomes are clearly different between if you are using either green tea or tencha, or if you're harvesting in April or July. So this is one of the applications of metabolomics. So if we consider that the global tea industry is worth around $231 billion, well, it is true that having those tools come in handy if you want to analyze the product that you are consuming or that you are producing and then selling. Just for you to have an idea, there are very expensive teas, and some of them are really highly sought after. The prices vary greatly, but some of them are crazy. So we have this Da Hong Pao tea. It's a type of oolong tea that is grown in the Fuji Mountains of China, and you can't just buy it. You have to get it in an auction, and the cost is $1.2 million per kilogram. Then we have this Panda Dong tea that is grown in the Yan region of Sichuan in China, and uses Panda Dong as fertilizer. That one costs $70,000 per kilogram. And then I found this other yellow gold tea that is harvested once a year using gold shears, and then the leaves are sprayed with edible 24-karat gold flakes, and that costs $7,000 per kilogram. So yeah, it is good to know how, like, what is the quality of the product if you're paying that for tea, of course. But well, there's too much more to say about tea than just what I've discussed. So in the last two slides, I will just take you to a trip around the world to show you my favorite teas or tea-like beverages. And let's start. To mention some, we have mate or tereré, which is a traditional South American drink that is made from the leaves of Ilex paraguariensis, and it's often consumed in a wampa. It's a kind of cup, and it's sipped through a metal straw or bombilla. It is known for its social aspect, but because we usually share one wampa and we all drink from the same bombilla while we are drinking mate or tereré. And then we have a rooibos tea. That's a herbal tea that is made from the leaves of Aspalathus linearis. It is caffeine-free and it has a sweet flavor. It is known as well for its antioxidant properties. Then we have Moroccan tea. That's a traditional tea from Morocco and other parts of northern Africa. It is very refreshing because it has fresh mint leaves and it's very aromatic, and it can be enjoyed throughout the day. Now, lastly, we have matcha that is originally from Japan. It is a finely ground powder of the specially grown and processed green tea leaves traditionally consumed in East Asia. We have herbal infusions made by steeping various herbs or flowers or foods like chamomile, peppermint, hibiscus, lavender, you name it. We have masala chai, that is a popular and flavorful tea from India. It is actually, the translation is spice tea, and combines black tea with a mixture of aromatic spices and herbs like cardamom, cinnamon, cloves. And then finally, this last one, I haven't tried that one yet. I'm curious about it. It's butter tea. It's a Tibetan tea made from tea leaves, yak butter, and salt. It's believed to provide the necessary energy in high altitude regions where it's consumed. Well, I hope you had enjoyed the presentation. Please let me know which one is your favorite. Send me an email if you would like to share your favorite tea with me, or if you want to share another type of tea, let me know. Thank you very much.
Nicely done, Claudia.